Hello guys, Art-Teeves here. In this video, I'll show you key stages of 3D modeling the Stylized Robot Butcher. Let's get started. I start off by using a simplified workflow that revolves around the use of Propoline tool, automated retopology, and symmetry tool. Then I fix topology manually just a little bit. I delete all unnecessary cap surfaces only to add them back some other time, and check several iterations of retopology to get the proper poly count. I use target weld to fix my topology. Remember, if you want to do everything perfectly, you shall aim to make your quads as close to square as possible, avoid n-gons, and also avoid vertices that have more than 5 edges connected to them. Eyes and ears are made by using extrude and inset tools. Surfaces are made even by switching to local coordinates and using the scale tool. I apply symmetry again, restore caps, chamfer their edges, and start making an improvised emotionless mouth. I even up some vertices while having the edge constraint function enabled, add some edge loops, extrude mouth polygons and use target weld to create an improvised upper lip. Then I make it slightly uneven. I prefer to create eyes as separate hemispheres that have the same amount of edges as their destined surroundings. Then I implant them by using the Object Paint tool. Obviously, if you want to make them rotatable, you shall create them as separate objects. The apron is created as a separate surface that is manipulated directly and by using the FFD modifier, and also has a slight noise applied to it. Then I give it some volume by using the shell tool. I embed some stylized thick bolts and washers into the frontal side of the apron, while the rear side is embedded into the robot itself. I chamfer external edges and make sure all elements are thick enough to match the overall stylized look of the model. To decorate the rear side of the robot's torso, I create some kind of a technical cavity and embed 3 wires into it, each having its own unique diameter. I detach the cavity to get a better access to its contents and embed the wires I've mentioned previously. To merge things together, I detach their intersecting parts, propoline them together, fix their topology, and attach them back. I create a cavity for neck in the upper part of the robot's torso, and then make the neck itself in the bottom part of the robot's head, making its center a rotation point for the whole head. I give the neck some uneven thread just to add some physical details to it. The neck shall intersect torso a little bit to avoid Z-fighting. Boots are created by propolining a cylinder to some basic shape. When modeling a stylized character such as this one, make sure to avoid some small details and stick to simple, thick forms. As always, I detach intersecting parts, propoline them together, attach them back, weld vertices, and apply a symmetry modifier. I create a cavity for legs in the bottom part of the robot's torso, and give its legs the same kind of an improvised thread we used when making its neck. I copy the leg straight away, but you may want to do it later on, once you are done with unwrapping. I use same set of basic methods to create attachment points for arms and shoulders. Make sure to memorize the location of a shoulder rotation point, as you will need it, shall you decide to animate your robot. The knife is created by deforming a simple box by using the FFD modifier. There is nothing really special about it. The only thing you have to consider is the amount of edges you give it. Remember to fix your smoothing groups now and then, or do it after the modeling process is complete, depending on your workflow. For some objects you may want to apply a weighted normals modifier. I don't pay too much attention to small details here when it comes to topology. Most of these parts will be blocked from sight by some other objects anyway. Once again, I propoline things together, fix their topology, and use the symmetry tool. Once again, make sure to memorize the proper rotation point for the knife, and make the knife stay a separate object. I connect middle parts of hand and shoulder with basic spline tool. Then I give it some volume and some extra vertices that are set to smooth. I convert the spline to editable polygon and proline it into all matching parts of the robot. Finally, I start working on the fork hand. It took me several times to get the design I wanted. Fork elements are made by using the bevel tool. I've cut out the process of making the second spline, as it is no different from making the left hand of the robot. Make sure to deform fork and other elements of the robot a little bit. Getting rid of symmetry may be absolutely crucial to make your designs lively and in some way unique. Now I perform a final checkup before I start unwrapping the model. I place my robot to 000 scene coordinates, give each part a proper name, and center each element to its rotation point. Then I do some final checks for n-gons and use X-View tool to detect open edges, overlapping and isolated vertices. At this point, you can reset rotation and scale of all elements and probably apply a Reset X-Form modifier to your model. Thanks for watching, guys. If you got any value from this video, feel free to subscribe to my channel for more stylized content, and most importantly, have a great day!